Emma had always believed her husband Daniel would never betray her. They had been married for 10 years, and although life wasn't perfect, she trusted him completely. But over the past few weeks, something had changed. Daniel started coming home late, smiling at his phone, and taking calls in private. Whenever Emma asked him where he had been, he always had a simple excuse, but for the first time, those excuses didn't feel convincing. One evening, while Daniel was taking a shower, his phone buzzed on the kitchen counter. Emma wasn't planning to look, but a message appeared on the lock screen that made her heart stop. It read, "I can't wait to see you tonight. Please don't let your wife find out." Emma felt the room spinning around her. Her hands trembled as she stared at the screen. Before she could read anything else, Daniel rushed out of the bathroom, grabbed his phone, and nervously smiled. "It's just a work message," he said, avoiding her eyes. Emma didn't argue. Instead, she quietly nodded, pretending she believed him, but deep inside, her world had already fallen apart. The next evening, instead of staying home, Emma secretly followed Daniel after work. She watched as he parked outside a small cafe on the other side of town. A few minutes later, an elegant young woman walked toward him with a warm smile. Daniel hugged her, and Emma felt tears running down her face. She was convinced her marriage was over. She quickly took several pictures with her phone and drove home, already thinking about divorce. But something strange happened. Instead of spending hours together, Daniel and the woman left separately after only a few minutes. Curious and confused, Emma decided to follow them one more time the following day. This time, Daniel drove past the cafe and stopped at a children's hospital. The same woman was already waiting at the entrance. Emma watched from a distance as they walked inside together. Fear and confusion filled her mind. Was Daniel hiding another family? Was that woman the mother of his child? Unable to control herself any longer, Emma entered the hospital. She quietly followed them until she reached a hospital room. When she looked through the small glass window, she froze. Inside the room was a little girl, no older than 8, lying in a hospital bed with tubes connected to her arms. Daniel was sitting beside her, holding her tiny hand while the young woman wiped tears from her eyes. Before Emma could step away, Daniel noticed her standing outside. He slowly walked into the hallway and took a deep breath. "I wanted to tell you," he whispered. "This little girl is my niece. My brother and his wife died in a car accident 3 months ago. She has leukemia, and I promised I would take care of her. The woman you've been seeing is her doctor. We kept everything secret because I didn't want you to carry this pain until I knew there was hope." Emma stood speechless. Every suspicion she had built over the past weeks collapsed in an instant. The mysterious messages, the secret meetings, the late nights, and the hidden phone were never about an affair. They were about protecting a frightened little girl fighting for her life. Tears filled Emma's eyes as she walked into the room. The little girl looked up and smiled weakly. Without saying a word, Emma hugged Daniel tightly and then gently held the little girl's hand. Months later, after successful treatment, the child rang the hospital's victory bell, surrounded by Daniel and Emma, who officially became her legal guardians. As they walked out of the hospital together, Emma realized that sometimes the greatest danger to a relationship isn't betrayal, it's allowing fear and assumptions to replace trust. And from that day forward, they promised each other that no matter how painful the truth might be, they would never let silence speak louder than love.